It's Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, incredible news stories today. I go over geopolitics, socioeconomics, kind of look at what's trending, what's not trending, the news stories, and then afterwards, at the end, if you stay with me to the end, I go over a trading plan for me, for myself. I give my wonderful viewers. Thanks for tuning in too, I appreciate it. So, just a quick video. eBay, news there on eBay and GameStop, so as we got S&P 500's pivoting back up again. So this is what we have. Got a lot of news to go over. It's going to be a little longer video. See if I can keep it under 20 minutes. Bitcoin's pumping up from my pivot point purchase today. That's doing good. So the market's kind of reversing now, going back up. More of the Trump trade, wars, rumors of wars, peace in the Middle East. So that's what we have. Got a lot of news to go over. So let me start. I'll start off here at bar chart. Let's take a look at that. I look at Zero Hedge. I look at Yahoo Finance. Crude oil up about 4.5% to 102.44. The crude oil trade is back on. It's like peace, war, peace, war, going back and forth with this. The gold trade pivots off about 0.5%. Stay with me, guys. It's worth it. I'm getting a lot of traction on my channel. Crude oil, the S&P 500's pivoting back up again. Now here's a news headline. Stocks retreat as oil prices surge and inflation accelerates. Let me tell you about it. I was recently at the grocery store. The price of everything is up like 5, 8, 10%. The Iran war is hitting homes as gasoline prices fuel. Inflation surges 3.8%. Man, Canvas, educational platform. And Kuwait says Iran attacked an island where China is helping to build a port. Peace in the Middle East. Apple stock, it's a new high. Its valuation screams caution. Twilio, news on Twilio. Teradyne, news there. Xanadu, stock fans, mark your calendars for the 14th of May, just a couple days from now, for Xanadu on the options with the earnings play, I guess. All right, so let's go over the stock market real quick, okay? Look, we got S&P 500 off 31 points of minis, Nas minis off 465 points, Dow futures back up again, the VIX at 20.8,000, the US dollar, 98.205. What's Besant doing there with George Soros? We shall see. The 10-year, we got to watch a yield on the 10-year. Has the yield curve inverted? Is this what's causing stocks to go to new all-time highs, plus the inflation? Nat gas at 2.836. Gold is off fractionally today. Silver trades back on again, guys. I've been selling some of my silver products, doing great with it online, on e-commerce. So, First Majestic Silver could be a silver lining for the commodity bulls. Stock symbol AG. So, let's look at the active stocks today. The stock market's everything in the economy. So you all work for many of these companies too. So if you work, here I'll list them here, great companies: Micron Technologies, NVIDIA, Tesla, SanDisk, Intel, these are active. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, Apple Computer, Mr. Softy, Microsoft, Qualcomm, and Lumentum. Man, they're active. So this is what we have, folks, on bar chart. I look at the futures here. Performance leaders on futures. What futures, do I want to own to back the truck up into that has the greatest negative weighted alpha? What is it? Cocoa? Let's see. Silver bullion's on top of the heap. Okay, got a positive 151 weighted alpha. Silver is still strong. The precious metals trade is not over. Lithium, platinum, gasoline, crude oil, palladium. That's at the top of the heap. But what's on the bottom that I want to back the truck into? Ether futures and nat gas. And cocoa and butter cash settled. Lumber is oversold. Bitcoin, negative 14. Negative 13.86 for Bitcoin. But Ether looks technically oversold related to its weighted alpha. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do your own research. I'm not your guru. So, it's just information, that's all. Pixel coin at a pump. What's going on with Pixel? Now let's look at Yahoo Finance. See what's going on with Yahoo Finance. Bitcoin's pivoting up right here. Let's see. Yahoo Finance, news on Warsh. Got a new Fed chairman. Markets raised odds of a 2026 rate hike after hot inflation report. Analysts expect the Fed to hold rates at its next meeting, but April's CPI report raised the possibility of a hike this year. So the Fed may have lost control, and now they're going to have to start taking interest rates up in order to calm inflation. What does that do to the Dixie, to the US dollar? Stocks slide as Wall Street weighs CPI inflation data. Senate confirms Kevin Warsh, Fed board, setting stage for such, and consumer prices surged. There's an affordability crisis for everything. Food, shelter, clothing, transportation, housing costs. People can't afford to pay rent anymore, so they're moving in with relatives or friends. Sam Altman news, Elon Musk wanted control of OpenAI. So there on Sam Altman. And then they're battling it out in court. OpenAI and ChatGPT. Coffee prices keep rising. eBay fighting off the GameStop trade. So we'll see on mergers and acquisition, arbitrage. We shall see. So I read the news on this. It allows me to stay dialed in. Running about 7 minutes. S&P's back up. I bought the dip on it today. Household debt edges up to new high. But credit card balances dip. People are doing the HELOC loans. And the thing is that like in North Florida where I'm at, housing market's locked. There's a buyer strike. I got houses next door to me that have been on the market for 6 months. No showings, nothing, no offers. Back in 2021, the day they listed an offer for a property was sold with 10 premium offers over the premium price of the listing type thing. Now the script is flipped. And if they have to now take interest rates up, to calm inflation, it's like the perfect storm. U.S. considers financing billions of dollars for nuclear plant parts. So parts is parts. So I look at these stock shares that are every day with the trending tickers. Quantum computer, Bitcoin, pulls back to the dippy dip. BuzzFeed, news on BuzzFeed, $1.50 stock share, up huge, up big. NASDAQ Composite, United Healthcare is up 3.5% on a breakout. I guess I got an upcoming medical appointment. I might sell a call, purchase stock on United Healthcare, and then sell a call and let the insurance companies pay me a premium. That's how I fight back, Top gainers, PAX Group, PACS, Reliant Corporation, Seed Limited up 14%. Quantum Computers up 14%, Venture Global, and the top losers, Camtech off 18%, Form Factors dipping, AST Space Mobile off, Fluence Energy, and Hims and Hers. So every day I look at this, what are the trending tickers? What are the top winners, top losers, and the most active? Plug Power, which I've been mentioning on my channel quite often. Plug Power's in hydrogen. HHO and hydrogen and fuel cells and everything. So they might be using fuel cells in the future to power data centers. Intel's active, quantum computing active, NVIDIA and Nokia. That's what we have, folks. That's what we got. It's exciting times though, looking at the news. Running about 10 minutes. So S&P looks like they're turning it around. I bought the dippy dip today. I kind of go over my trading plan and then see that. And so, I don't know, you guys ever do project management? I do. Once in a while, I'll take on a project. So I recently penned an ebook. You can see the links below, titled Conquering Project Management Course. Welcome to Conquering Project Management Course, your comprehensive guide to mastering the art and science of project management. Whether you're a seasoned professional looking to enhance your skills or a newcomer eager to dive into the world of project management, my ebook course is designed to provide you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to excel your endeavors in project management. You can read it for free, links below. I do affiliate marketing for my own products and do my own research, and so check out my course on Amazon Kindle. It might help you out. So that's what we have. CNN, a lot of news on geopolitics on the left. For the first time in 3 years, wages are not outpacing inflation. So I saw a story yesterday, said people in South Florida, their average income is $80,000 a year, but in order to afford a house, they have to earn $130,000 a year. So inflation doesn't allow them to own a house. So, what are they, you have to downshift sometimes and then you upshift. So there's houses, in neighborhoods in transition that they can purchase that need to be refurbished. Let's say 4 times 8, there's $320,000 houses in South Florida that you can have for that price. It's 4 times your annual income. But see, people want the $4 million McMansion, and they don't want to purchase the $320,000 house in neighborhoods in transition. You could purchase a duplex. You move into one of them, of the units, a fourplex. The FHA will finance the purchase, and then you rent the other 3 units out. Problem solved. So people they can purchase a house, but it's so gentrified in South Florida that they want what they can't afford. So they're stuck like Chuck trying to purchase a house for $3 million and they're not close. So, and then you get your real estate license. The commission's like 7%. If you sit for your real estate license, then you apply your real estate license as a down payment on an FHA loan deal at 97% LTV, no money down, you get to purchase a house, a fourplex. Problem solved. But people, they're not thinking that they have to do a little extra effort and downshift into a home that they get paid to purchase just by using their real estate license. FDA chief to depart after Trump signed off on ousting. So the FDA chief, like this, they're cleaning the swamp out, I guess. Americans are angry about the economy and Republicans' midterm prospects. Man, I got to check the weather too on my weather app, weathermist.com. It's agentic AI mixed with weather forecasting. Weathermist.com. It's the first app of its kind. You can use it for free. I'm checking the weather. No weather alerts currently for your area. Stay hydrated. But right now, as I look at this, all right, it feels like 76 degrees. The humidity is at 88%. We've got light rain. But as my viewers know, I mean, 6 weeks ago, worst drought in North Florida's history in 14 years, and I started doing the rain dance. Hey, 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 hey. People laughed at it, and now we're getting deluge of rain, and so I was able to manifest rain. And so some might think that's out there, but you know, you saw me, I was doing the rain dance. So those in the Native American tradition would appreciate that. You know, that's how it works too. So I say this too, I give thanks for my abundant supply of rain now manifested. I have it now. For, you know, a month ago, all the lakes and ponds in my neighborhood were completely empty. But now, I give thanks for my abundant supply of rain. Filled up my rain barrels because of my permaculture system and being able to grow my own food to fight inflation. So I do full-time research for myself. So I'm looking at this weather mist app. My goodness, there's huge storms going into Orlando. If you're in Spring Hill, Florida, or Groveland, or Zephyr Hills, there's big, or Palm Harbor, there's big storms off of Clearwater, Florida. And so I'll pan out on this. This is something else, this weathermist.com. Big storms there in central Florida too. My goodness, right near Yeehaw Junction, Okeechobee, State Road FL70. There's big storms out there too, guys. It's time to hunker down. Make sure you use weathermist.com. You know, it's the world's first agentic AI weather platform that meets artificial intelligence meets meteorology. So let's see, Texas, Houston, Louisiana, Memphis, all clear for now. But even up at elevation, the rest of the country's clear. Michigan's getting some bad rain right now, Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So use weathermist.com. I use it all the time. So that's what we got. So my trading plan, I bought the dip today on Bitcoin. I bought the dip at 81,552 and then went deeper into hedge and purchased Bitcoin at 80,554. And so whenever I had the patience to wait for the pivot points on the retracements, as everyone else is experiencing the margin calls and being stopped out, I'm purchasing their Bitcoin from them. So in the last 10 years, if you've been stopped out on Bitcoin or experienced a margin call, my hunting traps are there purchasing your Bitcoin. So you can read my ebook that I published a few videos ago called Riding the Waves of Bitcoin. So it waved down this morning to 81,552. I bought the dip, waited for it, bought the dip again deeper at 80,554 there, and now it's at 80,785. So, you know, buy the dip and then buy the dippy dip at the pivot points. I don't wait for confirmation. I just set my pivot points and then go fishing or go to the pool or go swimming. Dude, I got a lot more things to do every day on my trading and speculation desk and news desk and to look at charts all day long. That's how I roll. So I'll DCA Bitcoin today, and then I also purchased some of the pivot points and it's pumping. Ethereum, Zcash has done really well, very liquid. Solana, bought the dippy dip and some Solana, sold it yesterday, not my whole bag, but had as a nice pump, and then I buy it back today. So that's what we got on crypto. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, those are my main positions. I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. That's where the liquidity's at. I mean, back on 1010, Bitcoin was 125,000. and then it craters in price like this to 61,000. I dollar cost averaged all the way down, and then bought the dip on Bitcoin as low as 61, 62,000, DCA'd it, and now recently, I mean, Bitcoin had pumped up to 83, 84,000, up from 61,000. So, that's the way it waves like this. And I'll wave to all my Twitter followers. Hey guys, I'll push my video and publish them on Twitter, Rumble, and I also and Google with YouTube. It's just amazing. Again, I've been a stockholder in YouTube and Google rather for years. Bought the dippy dip today on SPY ETF. I'll DCA. It's my trading plan. It's not financial advice. DCA Bitcoin plus bought the dippy dip at the pivot points. DCA SPY ETF every day, and then bought the dip, and then the market's pivoting back up again. Bought the dip today on the blockchain ETFs, BKCH. Sold it for huge profits here recently. Now I'm backing the truck up into it again. It runs my synthetic Bitcoin mining rig that I invented like 8 years ago. So today, the dip on blockchain ETF I purchased it as low as $83.41. $83.41. I got just about the low for the day. It was off 7%. So that's my trading plan. You might agree with me or disagree, but I'm in it to win it. And I'll DCA block today. I didn't buy the dip because BLOK wasn't off 5%. I need a 5% retracement. BKCH was off 7%, so I started backing the truck up into that retracement and then purchased FSOL. I sold some Solana yesterday and then bought the dip today, squaring that off. So Bitcoin pivoted nice today off of 79,961. So it's around 3 o'clock, in the afternoon. I used to produce my videos first thing in the morning in the AM at like 8:30 until 9:30, but I was still waking up. All right, I'm an old timer. What can I say, right? So that's what we have. Got nice rainstorms today. Fill up those agricultural rain barrels and for permaculture, manifesting, rain, thankful for such. Got new glasses at Costco's, amazing. Got new computer, you can hear it spinning up. Uses an Intel computer chip. So this is what we have, folks. The trend is not my friend. I do everything counter trend. Got 10 different bags. So it's just modern portfolio theory. Silver bullion is pumping. Bitcoin dipped. Oil trade is back on today. Where do we go from here with oil? Tomorrow, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. There could be a peace accord in the Middle East or troop buildup in Karg Island near Iran, and then the world's superpowers are going to invade Iran. Who knows? We got news on Junta, the Junta V, people on a cruise ship. My goodness. A couple of years ago it was bat poo there in Wuhan, and then now it's rats. We got bats and rats. So who knows? That's what I like. Trading it. Might sell some puts today. Sell some calls. Deep in the money. Sold a bunch of calls yesterday on the triple Qs as it was breaking out to the all-time high. Wrote the calls. Pulled in the premium. Market dips today. Been buying those back if we get a rally again. So it's on again, off again. And every day, I study too when people blow up. Like the IM group, I was studying them recently. Many of them went on to become great traders. And then the one hedge fund manager is watching that video today, selling naked call options on nat gas. So I study it, you know. So learning that crowd psychology and groupthink. So that's what I have. Let's see what BBC is reporting. UK minister resigns and calls for Starmer to stand down. So there's political strife in the United Kingdom. On 10 Downing Street, you know, U.S. inflation jumps 3.8%. I read BBC. If I want to know what's going on here in the U.S., I'll read the BBC. If I want to know what's going on in the UK, I'll read CNN and Fox News or Al Jazeera. Dolly ship operator, Baltimore bridge collapse, news there. Trump news. Marty McCurry out as FDA administration. Lincoln Memorial pool makeover faces a lawsuit and a $13 million price tag. So people are suing over the color of the memorial reflecting pool because it's blue or red. I don't know, is it politics? They're going to color it, repaint it red so that it represents the left politically. My channel is apolitical, so I am for whoever is in office. So Trump is doing a great job. He's amazing. What can I say? He's amazing. That's what we have today, folks. We're on about 27 minutes. So tell me what you think, you know. Check out my ebook on project management. You can read it. Tell me what you think. And so I end it that way, you know. I give thanks for my abundant supply now manifested. I have it now. Thank goodness for the manifestation of all the rain that relieved the drought conditions here in North Florida. Thanks, universe. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, everyone. With that, have an awesome, great day.